Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the tutorial, and in this part of the tutorial we're going to be animating our model. So what I'll do first is I'm going to select the camera and I'm going to come to this viewport display here, and I'm going to change the path2 value back to 0.5 so we can see other objects in our scene. Then I'm going to select the power bank, and don't forget that we have the light indicator and the button printed to it. So what I'll do is I'll press Shift G to select children, the ones that are parented to the power bank, and then I'm going to select the power bank last. Then I'm going to press Ctrl J to join them both together. So what I'll do next is I'm just going to select other objects that I don't need in my scene, like for now the background and this duplicate power bank here, and I'm going to delete it. Also for the light setup, and let's just delete the light setup and this one as well. So we're going to start from scratch. So what I'll do now is I'm going to press Shift S to put my cursor back to the world origin. Then I'm going to press Alt. I'm going to select the power bank. I'm going to press Alt G to take it back to the origin. Then Alt R again to clear the rotation. So select everything now. Control A. Select the power bank. Control A, and then just apply or transform, which is nice. Okay, so we can start animating this now. So what I'll do first is I'm just going to press RX, and then I'm going to press 90 to make it like this. Then what I'll do is I'm just going to press Shift A, and then I'm going to add in a new background, RX 90 again, and then I'm just going to press GY to move it to the back. If I look from my front view, I'm going to select the plane, then I'm going to scale like this. Then for the camera, I'm just going to press Ctrl Alt number bar 0 to align it to this view. You can select the camera and then just put it in the middle of that. Now what you can do is just press G, then double tap on your middle mouse button, and then just scroll out like this. Then what I'll do is I'm just going to scale that out like that for the background to cover the whole of our scene, which is awesome. Alright, so what I'll do next is let's add in a light setup again. So what I'll do is I'll press Shift A, and then I'll go to light, and then I'm going to add in a point light to serve as a backlight. So I'll press GY to bring that to the back, and I'm going to increase the radius looking through the camera, yes. And what I'll do next is I'm just going to press Shift A again. We're adding another light to serve as our main light source now. It's going to be an aerial light, so I'm just going to press G to bring it somewhere around here, and then just increase the radius. Then if I press RR to track it, I just want to point it to the direction of the model. So we have this. So what I would do is I can just press G to bring it somewhere around here, and then R to rotate it back to the direction of that again, which is awesome. So looking through now, this is what we have. Alright, so if I go back to my viewport shading now, you can see that the light here, the power is too small, so I'm going to give it a power of like 500 watts, which is awesome. Then don't forget that we're using an HDRI to also light our scene, so I'm going to increase the strength of this HDRI back to 1 again, so that the HDRI light is also showing, which is awesome. Alright, then I'm going to, if I go back to object mode again, I'm just going to press Shift A. Let's just add in another plane to serve as a reflector. So if we go to front view, I'm just going to press R90, and I'm just going to move it here, and I'm just going to scale that. So we can use the same material we used for the emission the other time. I think it's this material 4 here, yeah. And then for the strength, I'm going to keep it at 1. Awesome. So if we look through our camera now, let me see what we have. Great, not bad. So I'm just going to press GX to move it to the back here, and then for the background, let's just create a new material for the background, and let's make the base color to be pink. I think this is pink. And then for the roughness, make it 1, and then turn down the specular just like we did for the black material, which is awesome. Now you can see that this object properties here, and under visibility, I just want you to turn off the array visibility of the camera, so it's not going to show in the camera but it's still in our scene. This is what I mean. So it's still here but it's not going to show when we render it. The row is not going to show. Alright, so I pretty much think we're done with that. So what I'll do is, so that we can see, I'm going to turn on viewport denoising. Then for the number of samples, I'm just going to make it 30, and then for viewport samples, I'm going to make it 30 as well. If you go back to our viewport shading now. You can see this is what we have. For the first scene, the way I did it was, if I just press RX now, let's rotate this by 180 degrees. Yeah, so we want this side to show here. If I just turn off iris, we want this to show. So what I want to do now is, the way I animated it is, if I just drag up my timeline here, I've listened to the track I used, and I discovered that for every 42 frames there is a transition. There's like a sound do, the do sound I hear. So we're going to start on frame 1 and we're going to end it on frame 42. So if I press home to make sure that the timeline is in full view, what I want to do now is I'll just press N to bring my sidebar here. Now on the Z axis, I am going to move this towards the negative value. I'm going to move the power bank towards the negative value, and then let's press Ctrl A and then apply rotation so that everything is set to 0. So what I'll do is I'm just going to move it down on the Z axis like this. Then I'm going to right click, insert single keyframe, and I'm going to come to the 42nd frame here, and what I'll do is I'm going to move it back up to like its initial position, which is here, and then I'm going to right click again, insert single keyframe. Now if I play this, you can see it just pops up like the first frame. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to apply rotation here again. So again on this Z rotation, what I want you to do is insert single keyframe here. Just right click and insert single keyframe, then go to your 42nd frame and make it 180, and again insert single keyframe. So if you play this now, you can see it's rotating and it's just popping up, which is awesome. But you can see it's starting, it's just static and not really exciting. So what I want you to do is, in your animation timeline here, just press A to select all the keyframe, and then press T, change the interpolation type to Bezier, and if we play this back now, you can see starting slow, speeding up, and then ending slow again, which is a little bit better but not what we want. So what I want you to do is, still in your timeline here, just press Ctrl Tab to go to your graph editor, and under your object transform here, I want you to select each individual values like Z location and Z healer rotation, and then we're just going to be adjusting this graph here. So I want you to hide for the rotation first, select the location, and then just press home to bring it to full view, and then select this handle right here, and then just press G to drag it towards this. So if I play this now, you can see it's a little bit more dynamic. And if I hide this now and do the same for the rotation, press home again, and then I just click and drag it like this. If I play now, you can see that is looking way more cooler. So it's going and it's just stopping and then going back to its initial position, which is what we want. So pretty much that was how shot 1 was done. For the second shot, if I just select the power bank again and then press A in my timeline here, let's delete those keyframes. So you can see it just pops out of the camera and then it just does the rotation. So it's pretty much simple. What I did was, again, if I come to frame 1 here, what I'll do is that on the Y, I am just going to, let me just drag so you can see, I'm going to increase the value towards the camera. So if you look through the camera now, I'm just going to move it towards the camera so it looks as if it pops out. Then I'm going to insert single keyframe. Then when we get to the last frame, I'm just going to return it back to like its default position, and then I'm going to insert single keyframe. So if we play now, you can see it's going, it's just coming out like that, but you can see there's no rotation. So again, on the rotation value, what I want you to do this time around is just press I to insert keyframe for rotation. Then when you get to the last frame here, I just want you to press RR to just trackball that and rotate it to wherever you want it to be. Now you can increase the number of rotation if you want, but I feel something like this is good. Then again on this, I'm just going to press I again. So if we play this now, yeah, you can see it's doing that. So on the first frame also, I'm just going to press RR to rotate that as well, so that it has some rotation, and then I'm going to press I. So if we play now, you can see it's just moving out like that. So we'll pretty much do the same thing we did for the first one. Again, press A to select all the keyframes, then press T, Bezier, then press Ctrl Tab to go to your graph editor. Now you can see this time around the number of object transform is pretty much more than that of the first, and this is where it can really get tiring, but this is where the fun stuff is because it's the one that makes the animation looks fun. So I'm going to select the Y location, and then I'm just going to press home in my graph editor here, and I'm going to select this undo right here, and then do the same thing, press G to move it towards the first frame, hide that, select the X Euler rotation, press home. You can see this time around it's starting at an high level and stopping at a low value. So for this one, I'm going to select this segment here or undo, and then I'm just going to press G to move it like this. I'm going to hide that, and then I'm going to select that of the Y Euler home. This one is the normal one, up down or down up, and then I'm just going to move it towards like that. I'm going to select this as well, press home again, my graph editor here. Let's select that again, and I'm going to select this undo right here, and then I'm just going to press G. So if we just play it all together now, you can see it's starting, rotating, and they're just popping out like that. So that was just how shot 2 was made. Let's move on to the next shot. Just before we start the third shot, if we just go to our render view here now, I can select the camera again this time. Let me just turn the pass part 2 back to 1 again, so you can see that the shadow from the reflector here is still showing in our render. We want to avoid that, so what I will do is I'm just going to press GX to just move it along here, and then I'm just going to increase the scale, let's say by times 2. So if we go back again, hopefully this time around, yes, that should be done. So make sure you scale that so that you are not seeing those shadows. So what I'll do again is I'll select this now. Okay, let me turn this back so you can see. I'm just going to select the power bank again in my timeline, select all the keyframes, and then I'm just going to press delete. Then what I want to do this time around is Alt R to clear the rotation of that. Then for the third shot, it's just a simple side view of the model. Let me just press RX 90 again, and then on the Z axis I'm just going to rotate it by 90 degrees, negative 90. So we want to show this part again, press Ctrl A to apply rotation, so the rotation value is set to 0. Then this one is basically more or less about the camera than the model. So we'll be animating the camera, and what we'll do first is, again, I'm just going to press G on my keyboard, and then I'm going to double tap on my scroll wheel with my mouse, and then I'm just going to zoom in like this. Then I'm going to press GX to just move it somewhere around here to show that to show this side right here, and then selecting the camera, I'm just going to press I, location. Then when we get to the 42nd frame again, I'm just going to press GX, and then I'll just move it along like this, and I'm going to press I, location. So now if we play this, you can see it's moving through. Alright, again, like we've been doing, come to your timeline, select all the keyframes, press T. This time around we're not using a bezier, but we're using a linear, so it's just going to be smooth all through, so the camera goes and just views it like that. So that was pretty much how shot 3 was made. Let's move on to the next shot as well. The fourth shot is pretty much just like the third one here. The only difference this time around is that the model is rotated on the Z axis by 90 degrees. So let's just do that. So I'm just going to press RZ and I'm just going to select 90, and then if you look through your camera now, let's play this. What you will observe is that this is rotated upside down, so as well on the y-axis also rotated by 90 degrees, or 180 rather, RY 180 degrees as well. So rotate it on the y-axis as well by 180 degrees, so that if you go to our viewport shading now, the lettering are properly done. Okay, so it's simple again. If we go back, so it's starting from this side, but you can see if I select the camera, this is way off out of view. So on the first frame as well, just press GX and then just move it to wherever you want it to start, then press I for location. Then when you get to your last frame, just press GX, move it back again like this, then press I again for location. So if you play this again like that, you have your fourth shot. Alright guys, so the fifth shot right here is where all the magic happens, and for me personally, it's where that's like my best shot of all the shots that I took. So the way is that the reason why I like it so much is that I was able to incorporate the logo with the animation. So what I'll just do now is I'm going to select the camera again, and then just press A to delete all the keyframes in my timeline here, and then I'm just going to press G, double tap on my middle mouse, and then I'm just going to drag her like that. Don't worry, we'll still align it to a better view. So what I'll do next now is I'm just going to press RX, and I'm just going to rotate this by 90 degrees, and I'm going to press Ctrl A again to apply all the rotation. I'm just going to press Ctrl Alt number per 0 to put my camera to that view. So if I select my camera now, I'm just going to press GX and then just move it to the middle here. Now for this one, what you can do is in your camera settings right here, just come to your composition guide here and enable thirds so that we can see that composition effectively. So I'm just going to press G, double tap on my scroll wheel, and then just drag it like this. So what I want you to do first is select this model right here, and then just press GX and move it towards the top here. Just move it somewhere around here. So what we'll do now is we're just going to press Shift S to cursor to selected, and then I'm just going to press Shift A. Now we're going to be adding in an empty. So what I'll do is I'm just going to select empty, then select sphere. So if you look through our camera again, it's simple. I'm just going to press G Z, and I'm just going to hold down Control and move it to the bottom of this power bank right here. I'm going to click on the power bank, then shift click on the empty last, Control P to object keep transform so that I can parent that to it. So anytime I move the empty, the model also follows as well. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to press click on the power bank, shift click on the empty, and then I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate this. Now we know that it's this second empty that will have the new duplicate parented to. So I'm going to select that empty right here, and what I'll do is on the first frame I'm going to, let's just come to our rotation value here. On the Y axis I'm just going to press I to insert single keyframe on the Y rotation. Then when we get to, like, let's say the third frame, what I will do is I'm just going to rotate this, press R, and then I'm just going to hold down Control, rotate this by 60 degrees, so 60, and then come to the Y rotation again, insert single keyframe. So if you play this now, you can see that. So I'm just going to repeat that step a bunch of times again. So I'm going to come to this third frame here so that we can see. Then with the first the duplicate MCC selected, I'm going to shift click, not that, let's select the MT again, shift click on the duplicate second power bank, and what I'll do is I'll just press Shift D again. Now I want the sequence to end on like frame 21, so we'll be using values of like 3 frames. So I'm going to select this keyframe here, and I'm just going to move it to like 6. So we have this now. So what I'll do again is I'll select that empty, and then I'm just going to press R, hold down Control, and then I'm going to rotate it by 60 degrees again. So come to your Y rotation here and replace the single keyframe. So again, if we play, this is what we have. Alright, again we'll do the same thing. Select that empty, shift click on the duplicate again, we'll shift D this. We're just going to do this a number of times. So this time around we move it to the 9th frame, and then I'm going to select this keyframe right here, press G, and then just move it here. So I'm now going to press selecting the empty, I'm just going to press R, hold down Control again, and rotate it by 60 degrees. Now again, right click, replace single keyframe. Alright, so I'm going to shift click again, select the model, shift D again to duplicate. So on frame 15 here, I want to select this MT4, and then just press G, move it here, and then press R, hold down Control, and rotate it by 60 degrees again. So hold down Control, rotate by 60 degrees again, right click, replace single keyframe. Then again on frame 18, we'll do this one last time. Shift click on the duplicate again, shift D, select the new MT5, and then just press G to move it to frame 18. Then press R, hold down Control, and rotate by 60 degrees, and then right click, replace single keyframe. Alright, which is awesome. Now if we play back everything, boom boom boom. Alright, so that was pretty much how it was done. So what I would just do now is I'm going to select all the empty, and then for the interpolation type I'm just going to press T, I'm just going to change this to quadratic. Let's see that. Yeah, so just select all the keyframes, press A, T, and then just change it to quadratic. So if you play, that's not bad, just to save us time of going through the stress of doing it like that. Alright, so what I'll do now is let's just do a little bit of the camera animation. So what I'll first do is I'll press G, Z, and I'm just going to move it up like this. Now on the first frame, what I want you to do is I'm just going to press G and then double tap on my scroll wheel and then just drag in like this. Then I'm going to press I and then a keyframe for the location. Then you can see that the animation is stopping on frame 18, I think. Maybe like on frame 21. What we'll do is we'll just press D again and then double tap on your scroll wheel and just drag out like this. Now obviously let's just press I for location. You can see that our background is a little bit smaller than this because of the animation, so scale out your background like that. So if we play this now, boom boom, and then you can see that everything is starting. Now if we go to our viewport shading here, let me just select the camera and then turn this back to 1 so that you can see what I'm saying. You can see that there is clipping here, which we want to avoid because all the objects are pretty much together. You can see all this Z fighting right here, so we want to avoid that. So the way we do that is pretty much I want you to select all the empty, not the first empty but the first one that we used, and then I want you to just move it to the back. So select each empty that you have an object parented to, the ones with the keyframe, and then just press GY, move this to the back of the main model. Select the second one as well, GY, move it to the back. Select the third, GY again, move it to the back. And because we don't have a keyframe for location, we are not going to be adding any keyframe for this. Select the fourth empty as well, GY, just move it to the back like this. And then last but not the least, GY, just move it to the back. Alright, so if we look to our camera now and we just play, boom. Now if we go back, alright, so again another problem, when we scaled our plane right here, you can see that this reflector is intersecting with it. So just press GY to bring it out, then you can just press GX to move it along, and then maybe you can increase the scale. Just make sure that they are not touching. So if we look at this again, yeah, this is what we have, which is awesome. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the animation. So what we'll do next now is we're just going to be adding in the material. You can see that they pretty much have the same material. So for this shot, what we want is a variety. Maybe like you want to show the main the 6 main color of this product. So I'm just going to select this one here. We're going to leave the first and main one. What I'll do is I'm just going to come to my material settings here. Let's just go to our shading tab. Alright, so in our shading tab right here, if I just turn on viewport shading, look into our camera, you can see in the material, you know, when we joined the bulb material and the power bank to it, the power bank is now going to be having 3 materials, but this one is the main material which has the UV unwrapping and everything. So I want you to select this material too, and then in your color here, I want you to just firstly click on this folder so that this makes it a separate material that is different from all others, and then you can change the color to whatever value you want. So for this one, I will just make it like I don't know what they call this, maybe like, I don't know, just light blue, or is this cyan? I really don't know. Alright, so we'll do the same thing for this as well. Material 2, click on this folder and then just give it a different color. So this time around you can move it towards here, and then select this as well, material 2. We'll click on the folder, and what I want you to do is just give it another different color. So I'm using this one this time around. Select this as well, click on this material, click, and then just drag it maybe towards the side. I say just to make them like have this different sets of varieties. Alright, then for this last color right here, what I'll do is again select material 2, we'll click, and then I'm just going to move it towards this side. So awesome. If we go back to our layout, let me turn on Valley so you can see. So if you play this now, you can see the camera is firstly zoomed in and then just zoom out like that, which is awesome. So that was how this cool shot was created. Let's go to the next shot. So for this next shot, it's pretty much simple. um it's just the camera coming out showing the logo that we did with the motion before, and then just showing that it's the logo for the brand as well. So what I would do is first off, let's just delete all these empties and then all these duplicates first. So I'm going to select the duplicates and then the empties as well. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to select all the empties here. Should click on this and I'm just going to press delete, and then let's select this last empty as well. Delete. Awesome. Right, so if I come to my front orthographic here, so we have the model right here. So let's just not that. Yeah, let's just move in like this. So what we want to do is I'm just going to press Ctrl number pad 0 on this model so we can see. Now for the camera, I'm just going to select the camera again, select all the keyframe in my timeline here, and then just press delete them. Then again I'll press G, and then you can hold down on your scroll wheel on just double tap and then just drag us like that. So what I want to do is we want to basically if we go to our viewport shading here, we want the camera to be first zoomed to be zoomed into the logo and then just come out. Alright, so what I'll do is, you can see the backlight is now down, which you don't want, so I'm just going to press GZ and then just move it um to the back of the model. Then if we go to our object mode, what I want to do now is I'm just going to press G and then again double tap on my scroll wheel, just zoom in, and then let's go to our viewport again so we can see that. Okay, let me just do this. Alright, so we want it to be basically here, so press GZ again and then just make sure that you are zoomed in. Let me turn my passport to 2:1. So just drag in like that just to come out of the logo, then you can press GZ again like this, and then let's press like GX to move it along. Then what I will do is, again I'll press I, make sure you're selecting the camera location. So what I'll do is on frame 21 here, I just want the camera again, G, double tap on my scroll wheel, I just want to drag that. I'm going to click that, I'm going to press I, and then I'm going to say location. So again select all the keyframes, press T and then linear. So if we play this now, yeah, it just comes across like that. Alright, so you can see now it's pretty much played. Then when the camera animation is pretty much done, we know that the camera animation is stopping on frame 21. So I'm going to select the model and then I'm going to press I to insert a keyframe for location and rotation. Then when we get to like the last frame, which is frame 42, I'm just going to press RR, and then we just want that to do like a spin move. Then just bring it down like this, and then I'm going to press I, location, rotation. So let's go to our object mode and let's just see how that looks for now. So the camera comes out and then it just spins, but you can see it's starting slow and doing that, so we don't want it. So you know what to do. First, again, we selected the keyframes, press T to enable Bezier, then we press Control Tab, and then we do what we've been doing for the other shirts. So I'm going to hide all other values first, select the first value, and then just press Home. If you are seeing this straight line here, it means that this doesn't have any keyframe to it, so leave it, hide it, go to the next one, and then the X also doesn't have, so you don't need that. Basically you can check it from here. So let's select the Z and then just press Home. You can see this one has, so what you would do is just select this and then just press G and move it here, hide that. On the Euler rotation for X, do the same thing as well. Let's do for Y as well, just move it, press G and then just move it, and then on the Z as well, press Home and then just press G here. So let me see now if we play that. Yeah, but I think the only problem now is let's just move these keyframes towards each other a bit. So what I'll do is I'm just going to, so you can end this on like frame 32, so to say. So let's play this now. Yeah, yeah. So I pretty much, that's how this shot was done. Alright guys, so for this next shot, it's pretty much just using instance collection to just rotate some varieties, and then the main one pops up and then the short ends. We're going to be needing a whole new setup. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to delete um the reflector and the backlight, as well as the main light source as well. So I'm going to delete that, as well as the camera. Let's delete that away from our scene. So what I'll do is I'm going to select the background and the model, and I'm just going to come to my side view here, and I'm just going to rotate it by 90 degrees. Alright, awesome. Then what I'll do next is I'm going to select the plane and then just move it on the Z axis just to this line right here. Then what you can do next is just select your power bank again, come to your side view again. Let's select all the keyframes and delete that so that there's no keyframe. Then what you can do is just press Alt G. Then if you look at this now, you can see that the plane is looking at our side view. Let's just ensure that the plane is below the model, which is awesome. That is what we want. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'll just select the power bank and then press my period key to bring it to his view. Then go to my top view here. Now I'm going to press Shift A. Let's add in a new camera to our scene. So come to camera here, then press Ctrl Alt number pad 0 to snap it to this view. Then what you do is just press G again, hold down or double tap on your scroll wheel, and then just zoom out like that. So something like this is what we want. And what we can do is in our viewport display, let's turn on thirds so that we can see that. Okay, so that is a little bit too much again, so let me just move it in. Yeah, something like this will do. Alright, awesome. So for the light now, let's add in light to our scene. So what I'll do is I'll just press Shift A, and then I think for this we will be using only one light source, depending. So let's go to our side view to see that. Then what I'll do is I'll just press GZ to move it to the top. Then let's press GY to move it above this the model. Then let's draw out like that. Alright, so looking through, let's go to our viewport shading. Let's see that. Then for the power, let's make it like 500. Also for the strength of the word, let's reduce the strength of the HDRI to something like 0.4 so that we can see our scene. Yeah, so I'm going to use like 0.4 for the strength of the HDRI for this scene. So again, we have moved it above the model. So now this is what we have. So pretty much this is the light setup I used for the scene. Alright, so what we'll do now is we'll go back to our object mode. The first thing I'll do is I'll just press Shift S, and then I'll put cursor to world origin. What I'll just do is I'll press Shift D to duplicate this power bank. Then if I go to my camera view, I just want to move it to somewhere that is not in our scene. So just move it out of your scene here. This is going to serve as a duplicate for instance collection. Then I'm going to press M to move this one to a new collection. So I'm going to call this instance 1 because we are not using just one instance. So instance collection 1. Then what I will do now is if I press Shift A and come to my collection instance here, select instance 1. So if I press G now, you can see let me just go out. You can see that we have a duplicate. So what I'll do is, using your composition guides, just place this anywhere you want it to be. So I will place it somewhere around here. Then because it's an instance, it's not really going to take any space compared to when you are just duplicating the model. So I'm going to press Shift D again, then you can press like on the Y axis this time around. And then what I'll do again, you can just press Shift D. Just do this a number of times. Press Shift D. They don't have to be on the same alignment. So again, Shift D, and then let me see. I think I can add another one right here. Alright, awesome. So what we'll do is we're going to be animating this main instance. So for instance, if I press R now, you can see that the rest also follows along with it. So that was pretty much how I made the animation. What I'll do here is, let's say we're starting on frame 1 and ending on frame 42. So for the first one, let's press Ctrl A first to apply all the rotation. Then what I will do is I'm going to press, first of all, I'm going to right click and then insert single keyframe. Then let's say when we get to frame 21, I'm going to rotate this by 90 degrees. Yeah, so I'm going to again insert single keyframe. So if we play this now, yeah, you can see that. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'll select all the keyframe, Again, I'll press T, change it to Bezier, then I'll press Control Tab, press Home. In your object transform, just select the Z healer rotation and then just G like this, Control Tab. Let's play that again. So you can see it's just sliding in like that. It goes with the sound and then just sliding like that. Alright, so again we'll do another one. So I'll select this again, Shift D. We'll be using another one this time around. So this will be another instance. So we can see this one is starting like this, so we don't want that to have the same rotation at the start point. So I'll rotate this again. Let's first press Ctrl A to apply rotation on the Z axis. This time I want to rotate this by 90 degrees, then press Ctrl A to apply rotation. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'll just bring it somewhere around here, GX. Then what I'll do is I'm going to press M again to make a new collection. Then I'm going to call it like instance 5, and then I'll click OK. So now if I press Shift A now, come to my collection instance. Actually, it's supposed to be instance 2, but don't worry, just leave it like that. So now if I just press that, you can see now that we have another duplicate of this one. So I'll just bring it somewhere around here. Let's see. So if we play this now, you can see this rotates. So for this one as well, I'm just going to make some duplicates, put it somewhere around here, press Shift D, say like Y, move it somewhere around here. Just make duplicates, place it where you want them to be. So I'm just going to place it somewhere around here as well. Then for this ones, I'm just going to press Shift D again. Let's move it around here. So what I'll do is where is that main instance here? Alright, so for this one, you know, if you press R now, you can see it's rotating. Now make sure that when you are placing your duplicate, they do not intersect with each other. Like you can see this one now, if I press R, it's intersecting with this. So let's adjust that. I'll just press GY and then, or just press G and move it here, so that when we rotate this now, yeah, what I'll do is I'll just press G Y again and move this along here. So if I press R now, you can see they are not meeting. Then for this as well, what you can do is just press GX, move it along. So let me see if I press R to rotate that, yeah, and then for this one, let's see. I hope nothing is intersecting. Yeah, cool. So let me select this main instance collection right here. What I'll do is again on the Z rotation, I'm going to insert single keyframe. Then when we get to frame 21, just like others, what I'll do is I'm going to rotate this by, let's say, -90 this time around. Then I'm going to insert single keyframe. So let's just play both together now. Yeah, but you can see this side is colliding with this, so I want to avoid that. So I'm just going to press G and move it here. So let's play that again. Yeah, something like that. So you can add more objects as you like, but I will stop here. So what I'll do is again select this one now, press A to select all the keyframes, then select Bezier, Control Tab, press Home, and then just select this, press G this time around and drag it towards here. So if you play now, you can see it's just sliding like that. Now pretty much that was how the first part was done. Now for the second part, you can see another set just sliding in through these spaces here. So what I will do this time around is I'm just going to select this main objects now, and then what I'll do is I'll press Shift D to duplicate, move it on the X axis. Then what I want you to do is just press G, actually we can just use one object this time around, G Y, and then what I'll do is I'm going to press Ctrl A to apply all transforms. First of what I'll do is I'm going to press I for location on this. So immediately this one is just going to slide in. Alright, so let's just do like this. Before it gets to frame 21, let's move this keyframe to somewhere like frame 19. Then let's say like on frame 25 or so, it's going to slide into the top here. So this is what we'll do. I'm just going to press G Y again, and then on the location, I just want to move it somewhere here, and then I'm just going to press I location. So if we play this now, you can see it's just moving in like that. Boom, just boom, moves in. So what we'll do is I think, should we use like a duplicate? Alright, let's use a duplicate this time around. Just press Shift D and then bring it somewhere around here. If you play, you can see they have the same keyframes. So what we'll do is right here, I'm going to move it here, and then I'm just going to press to click that in place. I'll delete the keyframes because we don't need it. So for the start position, we know, let me see, for this, we know starting here. So I'm going to select this duplicate we just made now. I'm going to press GY, and then I'm going to press I for location here. Then where does this end? This ends on frame 27. So I'm just going to select this now on frame 27, bring it in here again. Then I'm going to press I location. So I'm going to select this one right here now, and then I'm going to just press A T Bezier again, Control Tab, do the same thing, press Home, and what I want to do is select this handle right here, and boom. Let's do the same for this one as well. Control Tab, this rather, press A T Bezier, and then just press Control Tab, press Home, and then for the, I think it's on the Y, yes, on the Y location, press Home, hide all other ones, you won't be needing them, Home, and then just drag like this. Awesome. So I press Control Tab now and play everything back. Awesome. So you can see that we are not done here. It remains just one more, which is for the object to pop up. Now we are going to be adding in a bit of camera rotation as well. So immediately, let's say on the camera location, let's say on frame 21, let's press I for location, not location. Let's Control Z that. I for location rotation. Then let's say when we get, not that, don't move. Then let's say when we get to like frame 30, we're just going to press R again to just rotate that. And what I'll do is I'm just going to press I again, location rotation. So if we play this now, yeah, something like that. Or better still, what we can just do is we can make it start rotating from the start. So let's just bring that to frame 1 and just rotate in like that. Then for all these spaces here, maybe we can just fill it up with other duplicates of the instance as well. Yeah, that's not bad. Then immediately the camera stops rotating here. What I'll do is we can just make like the model just move up. So I'm going to select the one that is in the middle right here, and what I'll do is on, let's say the last, let's say 3 frames before, I'm just going to press I for location. Then okay, let's see, maybe we can just do for location rotation, let's say maybe like when I get to frame 30 or frame 35, so to say, I'm just going to press, let's see, I'm just going to press G Z, and I'm just going to move it up like this, and then I'm just going to press I location rotation. So if we look at this now, this is what we have. Let's play again. Yeah, and then it's just coming like that. Let me see. Yes, so another thing we can do is on the final one, I think like we can bring this up again towards the camera. Where's the camera? The camera is somewhere around here, so let's just move that up, GZ again, and then just press I location rotation. For the light, let's make sure that our light is at the back of the camera, so let's move the light to the back of the camera. Awesome. So if we play this now, let's see. Yeah, it's coming like that. So if I select this now, what I want to do is on frame 35 here, I'm just going to press RR, maybe like to just rotate that, and then let's press I again. So if we play now, yeah, something like that will do. Yeah, so that is it. Now if I select this now again, press A T Bezier, Control Tab to go to your graph editor. Then in your object transform here, you can see that the X location and Y is set to 0. So those ones we don't need to add anything to them, but for the Z and the remaining ones though, we need to do something to them. So select the Z location, press Home, and then you know what to do, right? Press G, hide, and select this, press Home, and then like that. Just these subtle details. Press Home again, and then just press G. Awesome. Then for the last one, press Home, and then just, alright, so let's play everything back now to see what we have. Alright, so let me select the camera, the other viewport display. Let's see. Let me see my viewport shading, how that looks. Alright, it's not bad, but I just feel like there are a lot of empty spaces. What I would do is, alright, let's go back to our object mode. Right here, let me look at the main instance collection, for instance. Let me just zoom out like that with my top view. I think this is the instance collection for this. Let me see the ones that follow along. Right, let's see. Okay, so this sets follow along. Nice. So what I'll do is right here where the camera is rotating and then there is empty, I'm just going to press Shift D, and then on the Y I'm just going to move it along just to prevent negative space, just to have something so like GY. So let's play that again this time. Yeah, so we can see that there. And then let's just add in a bunch more somewhere around here. I hope that is not, yeah. Then for this as well, let's go out again. Let me just see for this side. Let me see the objects that follow along. Since it's not an assassin, don't worry about this clipping here. Yeah, so this one's rotate along with it. So I'm going to select this again, play with the camera. Then when it gets here, I'm just going to press Shift D again and then move it along the X just to avoid the negative spaces. Then you can press Shift D again, move it somewhere around here. So let's play everything together now. Boom. Yeah, awesome. So you can still add in pretty much more duplicates to that. Maybe you can make them stills instead for all these negative spaces here, but a lot of time has gone. I don't want us to take any time further on the animation. So let's go to materials now. You can see that they are pretty much the same colors again, which is what you want to avoid. And what we'll do is, since they are instance, what I will do is for this instance here, um, anything that I do to the color affects others as well. So I'm just going to select this main material here, duplicate on the, not duplicate, I think we already have some materials that we added before. So for material 5, I'm going to click material 5. You can see all other instances have the same material. So I'm going to select this second instance as well, and I am going to change the color to this one. Awesome. So you can see if we play this now, yeah. Then for these two right here, we can use another set of color. So I'm going to double click on this folder here, since this one is a duplicate of this. Then what I'll do is I'll change it to material 9, and for this as well, I'm going to duplicate, not duplicate, let me just select another material that is different. Awesome. Alright, I think we have too much of greens, so let's use like material 11. So that was pretty much how I created the shots. It was just using instance, rotating it, and adding a bit of camera movements, and then this one just popping out here. So let's go to the next shot. Alright, so what I will do is I'm just going to select power bank first. In my timeline here, I'm going to delete the keyframe, and I'm going to press Ctrl I. We're going to be deleting all other objects apart from the power bank. I'm going to press Alt R to clear the rotation, and then Alt G to take it back to the world origin. If I press my period key, I'm just going to come to this view here, and what I will do now is I'm just going to press Shift A, and then I'm going to add in a plane. Let's RX 90 to rotate that by 90 degrees. GY, let's just move it to the back, and then let's scale it like 20 times, I think. Alright, so if we go to our front view now, I'm going to add in a camera again. Shift A, let's add in camera, then Control Alt number pad 0. Nice. And now we can go to the light setup. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to press Shift A, and let's add in a backlight again. Point light GY, just move it to the back, increase the radius, not too much, and then give it a power of 50 watts. Awesome. Now for the reflector here, what I will do is I'll just press Shift D on this plane, I'll set to rotate it by 90 degrees, scale, and then what I will do is looking through our camera, I'm just going to press G to bring it somewhere around here, and I'll press GY to bring it to the front. Now you can scale it if you want to. Alright, awesome. Now for the main light, let's press Shift A again and add in a light. Let's add in area light. So I'm just going to press GZ to put it on top here, and then I'm going to drag out the value on my top view here. I'm just going to bring it here like this, and then what I'll do is I'll just press RR to trackball it to the model, and yeah, there we go. So for the power, I'm just going to make it 500 watts. So I have our lighting set up again. Alright, so let's just check that out in our viewport shading to be sure. Alright, awesome. So what I'll do next now is well, we pretty much used the same background material we used before. So, and then for the reflector, again the same material we've used, which is this one. Awesome. Right now, so we can get to the animation. For the animation, if I come to my first frame here, we want the model to first pop out. So what I'll do is let's first start from the last frame actually. So in the last frame, on the Y location, I'm just going to insert single keyframe, and then when I get to the first frame here, I'm going to move it towards the camera like this, and then I'm going to insert single keyframe. So if we play this now, yeah, there we go. And then also I'm going to press I for rotation. Then in my last frame, I'm just going to press RR for however I want it to be lastly. So this is awesome, and I'm just going to press I again. So if I come to my first frame, you can see like that. So what we can do is maybe in the first frame here we can press RR again, just to maybe like rotate this, let me see, something like this, and I'm going to press I. So if we play now, yeah. Alright, so now we can start. Let's just press T to change the interpolation to Bezier, and then Control Tab. Now what we'll do is let's just come to our object transform. Let's hide the other values and then do it one by one. So for this one, on the Y location, I'm just going to press G, move it like this. For the X, again we'll do the same thing, and then boom. For the Y as well, like this, and then lastly for the Z Hula, and I'm just going to press G again like that. So if we play now, boom. Right, so now what we want is as this is splitting, we want there to be two more power bank just popping out. Now the secret to this is immediately it's turning its back here, they're just going to appear. So what I'm going to do here is on right here on frame, I think frame 20 or frame 15 probably. Yeah, we can just use frame 18. Right here on frame 18, what I'll do is I'll just press Shift D to duplicate this, and then Shift D to duplicate this again. So let's select the first duplicate, and then I'm just going to press I on the location and I on the rotation. So on the last frame here, I'm just going to press GX to move it to wherever I want it to be, and then I can just press RR for however I want the rotation to be. So I'm going to press I again and I on the rotation as well. So if we play this now, boom, you can see that is coming out. Alright, so we're just going to make slight adjustments from frame 18 to 42 here. So select both of them, and then just press T again, Bezier, and then press Control Tab. So we're just going to select them individually again like we did the first time. Alright, so what I will do now is I'm going to select the Y location, and I'm going to press Home. So select the Y location. What I want you to do is press A to select everything, and then press V, change the handle type to free, and then just select this handle right here, and then just press G to move it a little bit up like that. Nice. Do the same for the X. So for the X, just select this handle right here, and then just press A to select everything, then V, change it to free, and then just press G again just to grab this up a little bit like this. Do the same for the Y as well. So V, turn it to free, or just to save time, you can just press A to select all the keyframes, and then just press V, change it to free. Alright, so now what I'll do is I'll just press G to just move this up a little bit like this. Let's do the same for the Z as well. So again, just press G to move it a little bit up. Let's do it for X as well. So this time around, just press G. hide that. And then for the Z location, that doesn't have any keyframe, so we don't have to bother about it. So if I play this now, yeah, you can just see it popping out like that. Just go boom. All right, so let's do that again for the second duplicate. So for duplicate 4 right here, just press I and then I for location and rotation. Then when you get to your last keyframe, wherever you want it to be, just do it like that. And then I'm just going to press RX, or sorry, RR rather, and then just rotate it to wherever you want the rotation to be. And then just press GY maybe to take it to the back, like this. Let's check that out. Yeah, something like this. And let's rotate it a bit like that. Yeah, and then just press I for location, and then press I for rotation as well. So select these two keyframes again, and then if I press T, Bezier, and then press Control Tab. So let's do it one by one again. So let me hide these ones right here, and then for the Y location, press Home again. Before we do that, let's just select all the keyframes and press V, select free for the handle type, so that we won't waste much time again. So select this one and just press G to move it up a bit like this. And then for the wheeler rotation as well, I'm just going to press Home. We select this, and I'm just going to bring it up like this, just adjusting. Let me hide, let me select this as well, press Home. And then for this one, I'm just going to bring it down. And for the Z, I'm going to select let me see, let me select this handle here, and then just press G to move it down. And let me hide this right here. So for the X location, I'm just going to press G like this. And then lastly for the Z location, it doesn't have a keyframe. So if you play this now, boom, it pops out. So that was just basically how it was done. Now there is a problem. So if I go to my viewport shading now, and the problem is, you can see again, let me just put this to 1 so that you can see what I'm doing. You can see again that we have this issue of Z fighting we talked about in, I think, when we're creating shot 5. So what we'll do now is I'm just going to keyframe the visibility of these duplicates. So I want you to select these duplicates right here, and what I want you to do is on this frame 18 that they start to appear first, I want you to disable their visibility in the render, and then one frame after, I want you to enable the visibility in render. So this is not going to show here, but when you get here, it's going to show. Now let's do the same for the power bank. So on frame 18 right here, just disable it in your render so it won't be visible. But when you get to frame 19, one frame after, just enable it. So when you render this now, it is not going to show this issue of Z fighting right here. So that was just how it was done. All right, so for the color again, let's just let me just go to the last frame so we see this. Let's just change the color of the model once again. So for these two, let's use a different color. So I'm just going to change the material to this blue. Actually, I think we've used the green before, so let me just change it. Let's use like material 12, and then for this one right here, let's use like 11, or let's use the blue as well, it doesn't matter. No, not that. Let's do that again. I selected the wrong material, so let's change that to let's just use like material 10. All right, awesome. So now let me just go back to my object mode. You can see that the point light is affecting, so let me just move it to the back a bit like that. So let's see this now. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's just getting like a bit of light. I think I kind of like it, but let me just reduce the radius a bit. Yeah, so that was how that was created. So let's just move to the final render settings now. Alright guys, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who stuck through to the end of the tutorial. Also, I hope you've learned something and you had fun while doing this. Alright, so for the render settings, just come to your render engine here, and render engine sets the cycles for the device. If you have a GPU, you can select, but I'm rendering for my CPU. Then for the render set the noise threshold. You don't really need point zero 0.01, just set it to point 0.1. And then for the number of samples, you can leave it at 200 samples to make it much cleaner, but you can leave it at 128. That was what I use, and it's going to save you a lot of time. Make sure you turn on viewport, render denoising, and also make sure you have motion blur turned on. Where is it? I think I skipped it. Make sure you have motion blur turned on here. It's gonna make it even much fun. Then for the file format, we're entering as a PNG so that we can compile it into one video. Then for the folder you want it to be placed, I have one folder here, shot 9. Just click accept. So for every single shot that we made, you're just going to render each shot, then compile it into one huge video file, and that's pretty much everything. To follow me, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Shegun Ajayi 196, and see you soon. Bye.